President Donald Trump was grilled by Fox News this weekend. Fox anchor Howard Kurtz challenged Trump on his characterization of January 6th Capitol riot as a day of love. Let's watch.
There was nobody killed here. Nobody had guns here either.
There were people with guns.
Well, really? I'd like to know. You mean in the rally, or they had some guns at their home?
No,
someplace?
at the rally.
Oh, really? Well, I have not heard that at all. No, I don't think so. They had no guns. They had no guns.
So
that was a peaceful.
So you're comfortable with a day of love?
No,
you wouldn't modify that.
I'm talking about when I made that speech. I've never seen anything like it.
Kurtz pushed Trump on admitting the narrative about Haitian migrants in Springfield, Ohio, eating pets is in fact false. This is how he responded.
20,000 legal Haitian immigrants settling in that area causes a lot of friction. But when you said, and you know it's gone viral there, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. You say you're just reporting what had been said. But why not say now, well, look, that turned out not to be true.
I don't know if
Here's
it's
my
not true. I don't know if it's true or not true. I read
Eating
something.
The pets, you don't know if it's true or not true?
No.
It's been debunked by local officials.
What about the geese? What about the geese? What happened there? They were all missing.
There was one guy with two geese.
Howie, I have no idea.
What I find interesting about this is there's something about Howard Kurtz. He's like the media whisperer to Donald Trump. Maybe it's just because they've known each other for years. Maybe it's his sort of like, listen, pal, what do you mean? Like they're at the dinner table.
Yeah, I thought Kurtz did a good job. I'm on the show sometimes. I'm friendly with him. I think he's a pretty, down the middle of the road, balls and strikes kind of commentator, and he has aggressive questioning of Republicans and Democrats. Donald Trump knows that's what he's getting into with Howard Kurtz because he's talked to him before, so good on him for doing that. And Howard did push him on those couple subjects. I think Trump demonstrated where he does, of course, get himself into trouble, is just saying, well, I just saw it online, so I just said it. And right, the plausible was the complaints from people in the neighborhood had to do with birds in a park, had nothing to do with cats and dogs. That was an invented internet rumor that involved a different town and did not involve Haitians. So if you could just be a little bit more disciplined, you can still, of course, make your same criticisms about the effect migrants are having, or if the town took in too many and difficulties that caused in terms of the public resources of the social services being strained now that the town wanted to bring these people in to do work and to contribute, and I'm all for that. I want immigrants to come in legally and contribute to enriching our nation and working here and building things, but we have to be cognizant of strains we'll have on social services. I think that's totally reasonable, or cultural differences. That's not unique to Haitians by any stretch of the imagination. All of our ancestors faced cultural differences from the existing population when they came here, and sometimes that we're a big melting pot, and sometimes we have tensions in our country because we are a place where lots of different people from lots of different walks of life come together to live hopefully harmoniously, and it doesn't always quite work out like that. So totally fine to ask questions about what's going on, but got to stick to the truthful element of it.
Yeah, and as we know, the mayor of Springfield has expressed that these were legal immigrants who are welcomed, who are integrated in the community, and for the most part, with exception to every community has their extremist, including the woman who said that she saw this when indeed she actually heard it from a friend, and then the friend said something. It was a game of telephone, but it went to the worst levels, to a presidential debate through J.D. Vance. I find it fascinating. What's really amazing about this interview is how Howard Kurtz was able to penetrate him so he wasn't like defensive the way he is with most journalists, and maybe it's just the tone and how they kept it conversational.
It's a remarkable and specific skill, I agree with you.
It really was, and I think everybody should take note. And it disarmed him, so he still was defending himself and sounded like a moron, but he was like, well, I don't know, he just sounded like that crazy grandfather that was, well, Grandpa, where did you actually learn about this? Well, my grandkids showed me a thing on the phone, and then I clicked on that, and then there was a picture of it. Oh, grandfather, that was AI. What's AI? Like, that's how he sounded, because he is 78 years old and is definitely not on top of it all the time. I wonder how much of Donald Trump this is just Donald Trump playing the games that he plays, creating his own truth in his own little echo chambers, which is absolutely true, and how much of it is him just losing his mind.
I don't think he's... I always find that I don't think he's losing his mind. He's an older man, but he seems exactly himself. I don't see any difference in his cognitive output or what he says or how he describes things, contrasting that with the person who is ostensibly the president right now, not that you hear very much from him, who is clearly
Did an interview
and
yesterday.
totally incapable of running the country, of making high-pressure decisions about foreign policy, who is only awake and alive for a constrained number of hours a day. That is, to me, outrageous
Robby,
and unacceptable. But
so out of proportion. First off, the Democrats were aware of it, but it does not mean that he's incapable of running.
we got to catch him between 10 and 4.
That's fine.
I hope nothing happens.
Take a nap. Like, it's fine.
Yeah,
10 and 4.
it's
Donald
not
Trump is
as you well know,
exhausted.
it's not between the hours of 10 and 4 everywhere on the planet Earth at the same time.
Although it is 5 o'clock somewhere, everywhere. R.I.P. Jimmy Buffett. Donald Trump. No, but Donald Trump, the way things are escalating, and if you watch 1980s Trump and 90s Trump and 2000s Trump with The Apprentice, he was sharper, or at least he was more restrained. Even if he thought some of these things, he was restrained. Now it's like every day he says something just a little bit extra. And every single day, I wonder, is this man, he's unchecked for sure. Like everybody around him is, I don't think they're controlling him. I don't think they're letting Trump be full Trump like they did in 2016. But he's taking it to another level where I don't think he realizes, he's not reading the room. I don't think he realizes.
How is it on a different level than Kamala Harris? How is it any different? You know, we saw her
This is not debatable.
answering a question. No, I think it's exactly the same. We saw her answering a question, the edited question from 60 Minutes, where the reporter says, isn't it pretty clear Netanyahu isn't listening to you? And then she said, well, there are actions we have taken to do things to have them take a different action. What are you talking about? A, no, you haven't, and B, that doesn't make any sense.
Okay, that's a substantive answer, right?
Yeah.
It's not.
Well, it was a substantive
perfect.
with Donald Trump Howard Kurtz said, challenged him on they're not actually eating cats and dogs,
The fact
and
that
then
he
Donald
even
Trump said,
said it.
well, but what about the birds?
What about going after political enemies? I mean, every day he says something new. We're going to discuss one a little bit later. That was an obvious one with Arnold Palmer, but we'll save that for
Going
another
after political
conversation.
enemies. I mean, Josh Shapiro said he wants to bring a legal action against Elon Musk for
A legal action because
for
he may be violating.
incentivizing people to register to vote, which I thought was a good thing.
It might be a good thing, but it is possibly against campaign finance law. What Donald Trump is
I
proposing
don't think campaign
is
finance
cuckoo
law
town.
should get in the way of registering people to vote. That's
Going after political
pro-democracy.
enemies
I'm
with
just
the military,
pro-democracy.
pro-democracy. Except you're okay with them going after political enemies of the military?
Nope, we're not going. We ain't going after political enemies. That's not a. We should not be doing that.
Yeah.
All right. Next up on Rising, we're going to talk about a secret report that leaked detailing Israeli plans to potentially strike Iran. Stay tuned.